or call us at 1-888-902-2321.
Goodwill, changing lives through the power of work.
We are going to encourage you to embrace your roots this morning. Even if they are not yours by birth, they are your adopted roots now that you're part of the Tennessee Valley. Talking about Pioneer Day happening in Soddy Daisy and Montlake, all part of the Historical Society up there. Bill Shadwick was Tag Your It this morning to get us all excited for the event this Saturday,
This
right?
coming Saturday,
It's all free.
9 to 4. It is all free.
I have talked to you a few times on the show, and yet I just learned something about you I can't believe I did not know. You were a principal of Falling Water Elementary.
Sure was.
And did I get the story right? You were born and raised in
Daisy.
Your wife in Soddy.
Yes.
So thank goodness for the two of you. You're a,
we help consolidate
unified
the
city now.
That's right.
But each part, Soddy, Daisy, Montlake, has its own unique footprint.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And there's other communities around it. You know, we have people coming in from all over. We have a lot of people coming in from out of state now to the museum. So it's a good way to learn the history of the area.
Let's talk a little bit about the day itself, and then we'll talk some about the lore of it up that way.
Yeah.
But what will people enjoy when they come?
Oh my goodness, we will have we will have people with quilts, of course. You know, we'll have some blacksmithing. I'll be doing some kids games and things like sack races and things that kids used to do years ago, and we'll have several different demonstrations, the Civil War encampment. Actually, I think they're going to do a field hospital this year.
Oh, really?
And we're going to have some mountain men dressed up. There's going to be a group that we've never had from Knoxville that will recreate a bank robbery from the 1880s in Knoxville. So it's just going to be a fun day.
Do you mind me asking, do you know how that came about, the recreation of the bank robbery?
I've never heard of this group until we booked them, but I have met them. They came to our museum, and they're neat folks. I don't think they'll have a horse because this was like a 1880 something, and they're going to have a demonstration with blanks, of course, with rifles and things, but it's just a mishmash of stuff, just anything you could think of.
You and I are not too far apart in age. 10 years or so separates us. When we were growing up, we learned a lot in school about pioneers, the pioneer spirit and all that. Go West, young man, and all those things. I don't know. I don't have kids in elementary school. How much that spirit is taught in schools? You know, I really don't know. My fear is that it seems like today they try to go back and change the history. You know, I'm a big believer that you can't change it. You can't forget it. You have to take the good and honor it, and then learn from the bad. So, you know, no society is perfect, but absolutely,
you know, we really that's our goal, is to keep history alive and just let people see what it used to be like. And the seeing is a big part of what you're doing, because you're providing that experience. So if you have a 12-year-old in your world right now, for them, ancient history is no cell phone. Exactly. Much less the idea that once upon a time people had to shoe their own horses and make their own quilts. It's not even something they can fathom. But this gives them that. We'll have an on-site forge, and the gentleman will be forging all day. We'll have several campfires. We'll have a setup, a tent. There's a Native American that's actually a Native American, and I think she's going to have a teepee, and just we're trying to cover everything we can. Within reason. You forget too, once you're grown, that children don't know. No. They can't know anything until they see it or are taught it. Yeah. So you are asking though for donations when people come, because y'all are a nonprofit and you so enjoy putting this on. We do. You do a history fair that will happen in January. January 23rd. It's always the third Saturday in January. We had to move it to April because of COVID last year, but we'll be back to January. What I've heard, in the stories I've heard, is that it becomes a reunion of sorts. It does. People enjoy coming and remembering the old building that used to be there, and they run into their third grade best friend and that kind of thing. We were trying to collect all the yearbooks from 1938 on up for Soddy Daisy, and that's one of the displays that I'll have. Plus, we have a lot of coal mining stuff. We have rifles. That's another thing that'll be at the history fair is our 1880s rifles that were made solely in Soddy Daisy, the Soddy rifles, and some other things like that.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, they're actually worldwide known. We have 2 of them at the museum.
Really?
And
when were they made? What period?
1880s, 1890s, up into the 1900s. They were called bench guns because they're so heavy. You can't just pick them up and shoot them. You have to lay them across a bench.
Do you know if there was a reason why they were made in Soddy?
Well, they were made all through the Appalachians. Every town had their own school of blacksmiths or gunsmiths, and so there's certain features that were only made in Soddy. So they're making a East Tennessee History Fair is making a book, and we're going to be in it too.
Really?
Of the Soddy rifles.
Do you know how Soddy and Daisy got their names?
Is
it an urban legend?
Soddy,
nobody quite knows?
We think, was from a Native American word, T-S-A-T-I, to Soddy. It meant sipping place or land of many springs. And Daisy's easy. The vice president of the local mining company at Montlake, his daughter was named Daisy.
Oh, really?
So that's how we got it.
You got Daisy and Little Debbie.
Yeah, that's
all
right.
in one region. That's pretty fun.
Yep.
So you know that it's the Georgia-Tennessee game.
Oh, I know.
You are fearless nonetheless that people are going to show up.
We hope so. And you know, we're open till 4, but if people want to take off before and get home in time to see the game, then you'll have plenty of time.
Listen, it begins at 9,
right,
runs until 4. Go let the kids get good and tired seeing all that.
Really.
Then they'll leave you alone while you watch the game. Bill, it's always fun to see you.
Good to see you.
Donations, again, would be very much welcomed when you come, but the event itself is free. This Saturday, 9 to 4 at Poe's Tavern, Historical Park. You too can learn about Soddy, Daisy, and Montlake, and perhaps get involved and have some items of your own to showcase when the history fair rolls around in January. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure when you had your kids at Falling Water Elementary, they enjoyed having a joke or two coming your way. Dads are good at that kind of thing.